So today we're going to talk about different also aspect and an incident that took place with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we know that the Prophet sallallahu he joined that treaty. An incident took place that changed the direction of the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a small incident, and we said we're going to talk about it in the next halaqah, which is the introduction with Khadijah bint Khuwaylid. So Khadijah bint Khuwaylid, she has also, if you look at her roots, also that goes back to the same family tree of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where she met with in the same branch of Abd al-Izza ibn Qusay ibn Kulab. So they join the same family branch. Khadijah, she was a very rich woman, and she had a lot of business. She was a businesswoman, and she used to do business different places. Even the historian, they say that the wealth of Khadijah, that's how wealthy she was, it was equal to the wealth of whole Quraysh. That's how wealthy and rich that woman she was, mashallah. She was smart also. She was not giving all her money. She was not doing the business herself. She had many salesmen. She had many people that will do business for her and buy and sell and do all the merchants and do all the work for her. And she was just overlooking at her business. So among the smart things that she did is she never put her eggs all in one basket, like we say in our term. So she used to give many salesmen and give them a portion of her wealth. So she would go and use it and invest in it and make money and bring her the income and the return. The reason why she would do that, in case if someone become a crook or stole her money or the business lost, she will not lose all her asset. So that's the reason why she was dividing all her asset in a different place with the different people. And she used to choose, particularly she was very picky on who she would choose to do the business for her. She would look only for the trustworthy people and the honest people. And she heard about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how honest he was, and his amana and his good character. So she invited him to do business for her. So he came, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she listened to him, and she was amazed with his, mashallah, honesty and his speech and so on. So she told him, you can take some portion of my money and do business for me. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam agreed and took portion of the money and went to do business in the Sham. So you're gonna get one, inshallah. Yeah. Thank you so much. May Allah reward you. You know what I mean? You know, wallahi, subhanallah, this young fellow, he reminded me with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and reminded me with the one verse of the Quran, يُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ, that they give to someone else though they are in need of what they have. So this young fellow, how old are you? 9. He's 9 years old. He has something, and I know he loves it so much, yet he saw someone else, he needs it, he gave it to him. May Allah bless you and bless your parents that who taught you, and bless all the people who are here, inshallah, that we all follow the example, inshallah, of the Prophet sallallahu and follow the example of the Quran. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he took the money and took the merchants and went to Sham to sell it. So Khadijah, she sent with the Prophet ﷺ her servant, his name Maysara. Maysara, he was a slave. You know, the slavery was there at that time, before Islam comes. And he went with her, with the Prophet ﷺ, Maysara. He saw totally different things from the normal businessmen and from the normal people when he goes on a trip, on a business trip. He saw a totally different character, and he was amazed with the character of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of the things that he saw, and he was so amazed, the character of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How kind and nice to Maysara and to the slaves. Because usually the Arab, when someone has a slave, he would treat him very harshly. If somebody has a worker or a servant, I mean, this is a very important that to learn these lessons from the Prophet ﷺ, that to be kind and to be nice, regardless who you're dealing with, whether a worker, whether a slave, whether a minister, whether a king, no matter who you are, you be nice and kind to everyone. Because nicely and kindly will change a lot. Usually the Arab would change the slave in a very harsh, very rude way, but the Prophet ﷺ was totally the opposite. He was kind and nice to Maysara. So he was amazed with that, Maysara. Noted that. Also, Maysara, as he was walking with the Prophet ﷺ, he noticed something. That all his journey, the sun was not hitting them. You know, it's all desert in that area and it's so hot, but the sun was being blocked all the way by a cloud that was covering and give them shade. From the time they left until the time they reached, the cloud was above the Prophet ﷺ and Maysara, protecting them from the sun. So he was amazed at the way they're walking, and this cloud is with them, covering them and protecting them from the sun and from the heat. Also, what Maysara noted, that they reach to the same church that Bahira, the priest Bahira was there, in the same church, same area. When he was 12 years old, when he came with his uncle, remember? So, because all the caravan, they would go through that route. So they went through that route, but years after that, Bahira was not there. He died, and another priest took over the church. And he was watching all the caravan that's going through. So he reached to that church, to that area, and Prophet ﷺ was with Maysara alone, only two people, and their caravans. And many other caravans would go in a different area and different location. So that priest was watching, and he saw this caravan, small one, by itself, two people only, and they went and they sat together and they sat down by that particular tree. Immediately that priest came and he asked Maysara. Maysara is the slave of the servant of Khadijah. He asked, who is that person? He said, he's Muhammad ibn Abdullah. He's Muhammad. What's his background? What's his family tree? And he started asking so many questions to Maysara. So Maysara was surprised. What happened? How come? How come you're asking so many questions? He said, look, no one, he swear by Allah, he said, no one sits on that tree, under that tree, except a prophet. He said, no one sits under that tree except a prophet. He said, many Anbiya, all of them, they sat in the same tree. And he said, I noted something when he sat. So when he sat down, I saw the branch of the tree was leaning down, protecting the Prophet ﷺ from the sun. He said that would only happen to a messenger, to a prophet. So even Maysara was more amazed. They continued the journey. He was 25 years old at that time, by the way. They continued their journey and they reached to Sham. When they reached to Sham, usually the businessmen of Quraysh, or those people who would sell a representative of Khadijah, they bring their money, they sell their merchants, and they're out. Take their money and go back again and give it to Khadijah or give the percentage. Khadijah would give them percentage or sometimes would give them fixed rate. That's how it was a dealing, you know. But Prophet ﷺ, he did something different. He did not do like any other businessman or salesman would do. He was so kind and so easygoing person when he was selling his merchant. He was so nice, especially with the weak one and especially with the poor one. He would go easy on them. He would not smash them with the prices. He would help them out. So when people saw this from the Prophet ﷺ, everybody came and bought from him. So he made a lot of money. When he took the money, he did not take it and went back again to Mecca to give it to Khadijah. With the same money, he bought some merchants from Sham itself. So the profit that he made, the money that he made, he bought stuff in Sham, took it to sell it in Mecca. So to do double the business, both way, in the way going and in the way going back. He went back again to Mecca and he sold it with multiples. So he made a lot of money. So Khadijah was amazed that this is very smart and this is so brave. He came and he gave her all her money, he gave her everything. She was very impressed, she was very happy. So she went, Prophet ﷺ went away and she took Maysara al-Nasad and she started asking him about the Prophet ﷺ. Maysara is her servant, she asked him. So he told her everything that happened in the journey. He told her what happened with the poor, what happened with the rich, what happened with the caravan, what happened with the church, what happened under the tree, what happened with the cloud, what happened with everything that was taking place. He told Khadijah. She was even more amazed and more surprised with his honesty and good character. So Khadijah, she was 40 years old and she had already had 2 marriages. When she got married the first time, her husband died. Then she got married again, then the husband died again. So she was widow. She was beautiful, she was rich, and she came from a good family. So everybody was interested to get married with her. The leaders of Mecca, so many people, they offered her to marry her, but she refused after those 2 marriages. After she lost both husbands, then she had no interest in getting married again. But when she saw the character of the Prophet ﷺ, she liked it, and she went to marry him. So she sent Nafisa. Nafisa is the one who usually arranged the marriages. She asked her to go and talk to the Prophet ﷺ. Nafisa went to the Prophet ﷺ and she asked him, Ya Muhammad, oh Muhammad, why don't you get married? He was 25 years old at that time. He said, how can I? I'm a poor man. I don't have the money. How can I get married? I don't have the means. She said, what about if I found you a woman that will take care of that part in your life? Not only that, she's very beautiful and she's from a good family. He said, who? Prophet ﷺ asked her, who? So Nafisa said, Khadijah bint Khuwaylid. He said, Khadijah, why would she take a man like me I'm a poor guy. I don't even have the money. She's a rich woman. Even the leaders of Mecca are offering her the marriage and she's refusing. Why would she accept me? So Nafisa told him, leave it for me. I'll take care of that. But would you accept her? He said, absolutely. He will accept her, he will take her. She's a very good woman, very pure, very innocent, beautiful, and wealthy. She had everything. Who would refuse her? Then she said, leave it for me. So she arranged with Khadijah and they agreed. And also Prophet ﷺ talked to his uncle. One of the narrations said that he took his uncle with him to ask for the marriage of Khadijah. He took his uncle Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib. And another narration says he took his uncle Abu Talib, which is more authentic, you know, that yes, Abu Talib, because he was under the care of Abu Talib. And both narrations are there. And he took them and he went to ask for the marriage of Khadijah. And they agreed. But who are they going to ask her from? There's also another two narration. It says that they went to ask the marriage from the father of Khadijah, Khuwaylid himself. And there's another narration, it says also that they asked her because she lost her father. They asked from Waraq ibn Nawfal, her cousin. We'll tell about his story also, inshallah, in the halqa yet to come. So they asked for the marriage. They got married. And her dowry was 20 animal, as in to give her a gift. So he gathered that with the help and support of his uncles, and they got married. And it was the most blessed marriage. He was 25 years old, and she was 40. Yet, they lived an amazing life. We will talk about that inshallah ta'ala. This is also to tell you that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived with Khadijah 25 years. Only married to Khadijah. 25 years together. Never had another wife except Khadijah. So there's some people right now accusing when they say that the Prophet sallallahu he married so many women, he did this, he was a person after women, all that. All this is false, all this is untrue. Because if that was the case, then he would get married when he was young, when he was full of energy. Usually when the youngster is there, they're full of energy, but that was not the case. The only reason he got married, he married after Khadijah died, and he married after he was 50 years old, and also the reason he was married, there's many reasons why the other marriages took place. It was not for the sake of the marriage only. There was many reasons behind it. We will talk about that, inshallah, in the halaqat that yet to come. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and give us tawfiq. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillah. Inshallah, we'll talk next halaqat also about how many children he had from Khadijah and so on and so forth. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillah.